Oh my goodness. So Kwambeka, Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. Well, they have officially renamed its iconic Yonge-Dundas Square to Sankofa Square. A change marked on Saturday, 23rd of August, with a day-long celebration highlighting Ghanaian culture and history. Now, the renaming coincided with the International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its abolition. Now, it followed a 2-year consultation process by Toronto's Recognition Review Committee, that's advisory committee made up of Black and Indigenous leaders, residents and business owners. Now, the change was driven by concerns over Henry Dundas, an 18th century Scottish politician accused of delaying the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade. Now, at the ceremony themed Looking Back, Building Forward, Sankofa Square came alive with cultural performances, art exhibitions, music, sports, storytelling, Ghanaian food and crafts. The Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario led participation from the local Ghanaian community. Ghana was represented by the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Abla Jifa-Gomashi, and the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, James Jachekwesin, on behalf of President John Dramani Mahama. And I quote what Honorable Jifa-Gomashi, she said. He says the renaming of the Yonge-Dundas Square to Sankofa Square is not merely a change of name. It is an act of remembrance and an act of reclamation and an act of reparations. It is a bold step towards justice and healing, not just for the people of Toronto, but for all Africans at home and in the diaspora. So I think this is what she said. And then the minister also linked the move to Ghana's Black Star Experience, the government's flagship cultural program, describing Sankofa Square as a living space of dialogue, cultural exchange, education, and empowerment. So, yeah.
So two things happened. There was a celebration bit, and there was the name changing of the Yonge-Dundas Square to Sankofa Square.
Sankofa Square.
Two things that happened during that period. Okay, let me start with you, Robert. What does this mean to our culture and tourism industry?
I mean, it raises interest in how our foreign or diplomatic conversations are going on with other countries. And it's quite interesting to see that a different country somewhere is going to name an iconic square, after something that is from Ghana, originating from Ghana. It also shows how open they are to welcoming cultures from across the world. And so, yes, I took the liberty to immediately try to understand how many people are of Black descent living in Canada.
Okay.
And astonishing numbers. Well, it was less than 2 million, I think.
Less than 2 million?
Yeah, which means it's less than a population of Accra.
Okay. And what's the entire population of?
The entire population is about 41 million thereabouts.
Okay.
And I also, so I tried to understand how many Ghanaians were living there. There are less than 150,000 people. So it's amazing how few the numbers are, and yet we've been able to secure something that is iconic enough to represent our culture. And so it comes back to how we ourselves handle things like, the Idinkra symbols, their meanings, and how we often use them, even here, in terms of names of places, etc., etc., and whether or not people who listen to that name coming back home can connect to that particular story. So let's say I'm in Canada, I come to Ghana, I heard about Sankofa. Sankofa, I'm told, is an Idinkra symbol. When I come here, how do I connect with the rest of the symbols and what it means for the people of this particular country, whether they are names, whether there's a place where all of these symbols come alive, whether there's a museum, whether, I don't know, something of some sorts that basically has strength in the cultural expression of these Idinkra symbols, so to say. And I think that it's good for us, and it's good for, and then kudos to the people within the space in terms of the Ministry of Arts and Tourism stroke
GTA
GTA stroke people, the diplomatic the diplomats in that conversation leading to this particular engagement. It also says we need to. I'm not too sure what the relationship between Ghana and Canada is, but it's worth getting to understand the space. I think they're doing something remarkably well, because these things don't usually just happen.
Yeah.
And I must say congratulations to them. Almost immediately, I must also mention that I recently read that the cultural attaches from the various embassies are no longer in place.
Yes.
And I'm wondering why.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's probably a conversation we need to have, because I think in one of the submissions I was making here, I was making reference to the fact that for tourism purposes or in amplifying your country's culture or elements associated with the country, you need to be able to ride on these cultural attaches. And it's quite surprising that it's not there. We need to be able to understand the reason why. And probably we need to get answers from whoever the authorities are in a particular space. But yes, kudos to them, and we hope that at the end of the day, Charlie, this translates into something meaningful, and the exportation of Ghana's culture in this particular space.
Thank you, Robert Clark. Adam.
John, thank you.
Hey, Mr. Adam, sorry, Mensa.
Thank you. I
AKA?
mean,
AKA Settings Man.
AKA
2nd August.
Okay.
2nd August.
Yeah, but
We're still in August, aren't we?
We still are. Yeah.
Okay.
Days named after you.
Yeah.
Renaming Anna.
Somebody owned with 5th August.
Yes. No.
Oh, okay.
Every 5th August, something happens, right?
On the right.
Okay, let me call Joe.
Good. So, 2nd August. So
Okay.
you next year, 2nd August.
2nd August.
I think it's a step in the right direction where we need to, take full advantage of, because if you check the genesis of the whole thing,
Okay.
Ghana and Canada has had about over 60 years bilateral relationship built on cooperation, business among others, and the whole issue of the renaming of the Yonge-Dundas Square started somewhere after the incident of 2020, where George Floyd and some other 2 Africans were killed in America amidst some racial tendencies. It was then that about 14,000 people in the city petitioned the council.
Which city?
Toronto.
Okay.
Toronto.
Petition the leadership of the city to rename that place, because that place, Yonge-Dundas, is an intersection. That's a street, Young Street, and the Dundas, and that's where they meet. So if you look at that place, it's a cosmopolitan area, like the Times Square of America.
Okay.
And annually, about 56 million people visit that place, and daily about 100,000 people. So they feel like it's a place of prominence and of a national culture monument, very busy place in Canada. And they feel you should not, name the place after somebody who was seen as Henry Dundas. The name, the Dundas, the name, there is a name Dundas and the street Dundas. And people are trying to, merge it to say that there is another Henry Dundas who was somebody who was interested in the slave trade to the extent that he is known to be one who delayed the abolition.
Was it not named after him? Was it not?
That's what people are trying to say, that you cannot have a place like this.
What did you find
under
out?
the name? What I found in my research is that it's likely to be 2 separate things, but because of the surname, there's some instances where some surnames do not necessarily mean this person, but because it's the person's surname, it becomes, because Henry Dundas is of an American descent. He's from America, you understand? So they feel like it will not help, so they should rename the place. So as a result of that, they formed a committee of about 20 people who were drawn from traders on the Yonge-Dundas area, prominent people in the city, among others. And during that time, from 2021, when they voted, it was about 18-2.
I'm not cutting you, continue.
Okay.
But a quick search here says that the Dundas Street itself was named in 1793 by John Graves Simcoe, the first Lieutenant Governor of Upper Canada, after Henry Dundas.
Okay.
Continue.
All right. So, when they voted, 18 people voted in favor of the change and 2 people voted against. And from 2023 till now, I mean, people have started spreading some false narrative to the Sankofa.
Yeah.
Where some are saying that the Sankofa, like, what they want to say that what they are trying to do with the rename is like, they want to say that you saying this man contributed to slave trade. Now you are changing him. You are bringing a narrative or a name from a place who contributed to slave trade. I mean, that's what they are trying to say, which is a wrong narrative. So I've seen some of their mayors in their like MPs in their parliament.
When you say wrong narrative, what necessarily do you mean?
But the wrong narrative is that the Sankofa is linked to slave trade.
It's not okay.
Exactly. So they are trying to say that we contributed to slave trade, and Sankofa is coming from Ghana. So we are. It's the same thing with Henry.
So there was opposition.
Yeah. There are people. I've seen someone prior to the opening who even went there with a Canadian flag, asking other people to come with their flag to force the authorities to change the rename. There's a very wrong.
Oh, really? So they were objecting to the Sankofa renaming.
Wrong narrative on social media, on their social media spaces. Even there are some Toronto platforms who have run polls on Twitter, among X, among other platforms. I mean, trying to also they want to conscientize the youth to revolt against this, and I'm bringing this in a way to urge the blacks and Ghanaians there, because their leaders are trying to let them know that Sankofa doesn't mean that. Sankofa means go and learn from the past to move on. So
not just anything from the past.
It's quite even symbolic.
So, the Ghanaians are mission there. They need to ensure that they straighten some of these narratives, because it can be very poison in the atmosphere.
2 things. You mentioned the voting. You said 18-2. I read something that was about 16-4 or something.
Yeah, that was the first voting.
Okay.
So after that, they started pushing in this negative narrative to the extent that now, and when they did the public opinion, it was like 54. It was 54 were in favor. After they started this negative narrative, among others, that public support for came to about 40 something. It was where the final votes moved to like 17 something. You understand? So like, people are poisoning the atmosphere with a wrong narrative.
But so let me ask, do you think they are wrong for having, because you see we have so many elements in terms of the what do you call it, the idiosyncratic symbols. Yeah. Why did we choose Sankofa?
Yes. So what I'm saying is that in their, I've forgotten how they call their parliament, but in their city council,
City Council, yes, go ahead.
There were people who were explaining that the name has nothing to do with slavery. The name Sankofa means go and learn.
So finally, it's been adopted. It's been used for the rename.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
But I think I get where Robert is coming from, that there are a lot of idiosyncratic symbols. So why didn't they go for
I feel like it's
Sankofa
symbolic.
one?
Yeah, in what sense, really? Because
So
if
learning is more like the historian Professor Lev Strauss, learning from your history to know your future.
To know your future.
And the whole thing is around slavery, among other things. So they want people who visit there, people to understand how history is very important.
Okay,
so it is contextual.
Doreen read the stuff. If you can just read the part that says that the reason why they chose Sankofa.
Yes,
there's a reason.
I think
There's an aspect.
said that the renaming of the Yonge-Dundas Square to Sankofa Square is not merely a change of name. It is an act of remembrance and an act of reclamation and an act of reparations. says it is a bold step towards justice and healing, not just for the people of Toronto, but for all Africans at home and in the diaspora.
Okay, so in this particular case, what they are saying is that remember the past, how negative it was, and forge on
learn
to
from
the future.
that.
Learn from the wrongs of the past. In this particular case, it doesn't mean the right. It means learning from the wrongs of the past so that you can forge on properly. Okay, so that's perfect then. So then Sankofa is in.
So maybe, I think from where you were speaking, maybe the education
the GTA, our mission there, Ghanaians there, to really, project it, because
this brings back the issue of the cultural attaches, right?
Yes.
Because it's a very prominent place, and a lot of Canadians know that place. And,
it is a very busy
we
space.
We need to find a certain way to project the positive narrative of Sankofa so that those who are trying to poison the atmosphere do not succeed in their bid. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Edem Mensah Chotome. And a friend of mine in Koforidua, Saint Odo, says hi to you. Also, come of Dodo. Ria.
What question do you have for me?
What do you make of this move? How do you think this is going to impact our tourism culture space?
I feel it's a good. Clearly it's a good thing. I like the fact that a lot of European and Western countries are implementing, the whole Africans into their culture per se. Because I think, was it recently I heard that Japan has 4 cities dedicated to Africans now.
Okay.
All right. Some people, just like this whole Dundas, is it Dundas?
Yeah.
Dundas Street. Some people have opposition to it. Some people also like the fact that they are integrating Africans into their society and into their culture, which wasn't there in the beginning, because, excuse me to say, they used to call us the African booty scratchers at a point. They didn't respect us. And I think in Germany too, they've, as at 23rd of August, it was officially, there was a street officially named after Anton Wilhelm Amo.
Okay.
Yes, a Ghanaian philosopher. I think the first African philosopher in Germany. You understand? So I feel it's a step in the right direction, a step in the place where people will know that Africans are not just what the stereotype or what we are painted in Western media to be. We are also respectable people. And even with the German street, I think it was even named the Moor Street, which is a racial slur. I feel like in German, it's a racial slur.
Okay.
So it's nice that we are trying to learn from our past. We are trying to learn from the slave trade, and we are trying to kind of foster kind of a peaceful coexistence between the West and Africa. That's how I see it.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. So we are happy about it.
We're happy, yes.
And
I think
hope
the education bit is the most important part
exactly.
of it. So
exactly.
we're hoping that they get to educate the people more. So
the ceremonies among others, which was exhibited for me was beautiful. The kente and how GTA were also promoted. Visit Ghana with that Ghanaian passport among others was very beautiful, and we need to champion that place as a place. I'll be very happy to see us have a lot of tourism promotion on the billboards. That they have a lot of digital billboards at the square.
Okay.
So we need to take advantage and promote, because we want to increase arrivals.
Yes.
So we need to take advantage of this place and pay more money for advertisement of, positive narrative about Ghanaian tourism, so that we can get a lot of people coming. We think that the name will make more magic. We need to put in some work.
Yeah, when you put in the work and they come here, then our streets are still not constructed. So while they are going to spend money on all of these,
Come on.
it is what it is. Come on, you can't go and announce to the whole world, come to my house for party. Clean your house.
We don't have street lights.
Over to you.
Clean your house and then make a lot of noise
Clean
about
under your overhead.
Okay, some comment here. This one says cadence involves timing, rhythm, and number of syllables a rapper uses within a set of number of beats, often creating a repeating schematic Hey, from MDK.
All the inside.
Omaya Enoch says manifest is the real definition of rap music. Sark just has it on a different level, and all beat meets. Okay, Listowell Duuna says so. Flow is how you nicely ply through the beat. Ebenezer Anderson says there is no debate about this. Manifest himself said Sarkodie has a better flow. Okay, I think I saw that video.
Interview.
There is a video to it.
Elevanyo asked him to take himself out. If he take himself out.
But I've seen just that part trending. Okay. Gordon Finn says flow is how a rapper delivers his or her rap. Listo will do na flow na se mo he turn on be. He says flow. Flow how nicely you swim through the beat. English aside, sack flows past money. Omaya Enoch says manifest is the real definition. I think we've read this already. Adnan Mahoney, does the over here also include BET?
So somebody's explanation for flow is that you have a river, right? But how the river really flows in its tunnel, it's what determines. It's about everything. The
blockages,
the current,
the speed, the
high tide, low tide.
Flow. Richard Ankuma says a few years ago in an interview, Manifest himself admitted that Sarkodie. He said it was chopped. It was chopped. It was not doctored. It was just a small part of it. El Asinio says, Kwame, you have the best rapper in the studio and you won't allow her to talk. Have you won? Have you won? Ebenezer Answer says, and for flow, Sarkodie is the best in the country. Every beat he can flow smoothly on it. Ebenezer again says Kwame Dazi, but Manifest himself. Okay, you've said this already. Okay, thank you very much for your comments.
Hey, tomorrow Sankofa here.
Hashtag
Sankofa
she is my pick. And she is sick.
Thank you very much. Hey, boss! Thank you, Robert.
Relax. I will give you a
Thank
flow.
you, Mr. Adam.
Everybody will come and watch me that day.
If you give the flow, they will glow.
And they will be like snow.
You stop at Blekumanana
Ria, thank you for coming.
Yes, Robert, thank you. And ShowBiz Review was brought to you by Betway. You always get way more with Betway. But Betway is saying that it's time to get rewarded as the next big sports betting influencer with Betway. Place bets, share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. If they place bets using your code, you earn 4% of their wager. It doesn't matter if it's a win or a loss. If they bet, you earn cash. And the more people that bet with your code, the more you earn. So start betting, start sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer exclusive to Betway. Betway, get way more.
This is Hitz.